Before I start, I'd like to draw your attention to the orders of service in front of you. And you'll notice with the social media prompt underneath everyone's names, mine's got #fun. Now, I know for a fact that must have gone to print before I actually sent my presentation through, so I really hope it does end up being slightly fun and slightly interesting, having had that very ambitious hashtag put in front of it. I'm Claire from the RAB, and I'm here today to talk about creativity in a world of change. A lot of the work I do is going to creative agencies and finding ways to get them to think about audio and radio differently. And I'm noticing that increasingly they're starting to look at and be excited by and be rewarded for using audio in different ways. I hope this is going to be interesting to you from a programming perspective and thinking how commercial content and programming can fit together and create a better and richer experience for the listeners. Moving seamlessly from David Bowie to Charles Darwin here, he very famously said in Origin of Species that it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor is it the most intelligent, but it's the one that's most adaptable to change. And in a media context, radio has already proven that it can adapt to change, that it survives the birth of television and the advent of radio. And now we've got these things as well, where people are prepared to queue for hours and days and nights for an iPhone 5. It obviously has a job to do to adapt and change to meet this media landscape as well. #fun with Twitter on that as well. I'm going to play 5 ads for you now. I hope they're some of the most entertaining, if not the most entertaining, as they've just been billed. The first of these, you may recognise this gentleman. He's not my boyfriend yet. This is a very well-known campaign that did a great job at resurrecting the Old Spice brand in the United States and in the UK. It was very famous as a viral ad and also in print and press. What I'd like to show is what it did differently on radio.
Hello, ladies. Press down on the gas pedal of Forever Life Happiness and let's ride into the future together. Look to your left. Cars. Look to your right. Cars. Wait, what's that behind you? Me. The man your man could smell like. Shh. Don't say it. I already know how rough your day was, which is why I'm back here massaging your tired yet elegantly toned shoulders on which you carry the weight of the world. Quietly. Gracefully. Relax yourself! And let the sense of Old Spice wrap you in a handsome blanket of unspoken compliments as I move to your left, which is truly your most beautiful profile. Even more beautiful than your right side could possibly be. I was wrong. Everyone makes mistakes, except your parents when they made your face. I'm running circles around it, collecting all the nice and thoughtful things you've always wanted and deserved, but never received but could have received had your man smelled like the man your man could smell like with Old Spice. I love you. The Old Spice Fresh Collection. The gift your man could smell like.
So, this is a fantastic advert because it takes the TV campaign onto a different level and it uses radio in a way that simply wouldn't work in other media by making use of the speakers. So if you're in a car situation listening, you get a really embracing effect and the comedy works perfectly by using that medium. It also won a gold at Cannes Lion this year and in my opinion very well deserved. Speaking of Cannes, the next commercial I'm going to play for you was the winner of the Grand Prix this year. In fact, I'm not going to play you the actual ad because you can't hear it, but instead I'm going to play you something of an explanation.
Go Outside is the biggest outdoor magazine on the planet. It goes side by side with those who practice outdoor sports and adventure trips. But there's something else present in these people's lives too. Mosquitoes. Until now, this was how we got rid of this annoying problem. But we wanted to do more. How? By turning your radio into a mosquito repellent. This is how it works. Along with the regular radio station broadcast, we also transmitted for the very first time an audio signal of 15 kilohertz, barely detectable by the human ear. Studies have shown that this frequency imitates the sound of a dragonfly, the mosquito's natural predator, thus keeping them away. The idea, sponsored by Go Outside magazine, was broadcast for 3 weeks during the musical programming of Band FM radio station from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., a period that shows the highest reported incidence of mosquito bites.
curtindo suas músicas favoritas ao ar livre, continue ouvindo a rádio repelente de mosquito Go Outside. Esse programa está sendo transmitido junto com um sinal na frequência de 15 kHz que ajuda a espantar os mosquitos. Apoio revista Go Outside.
More than 3 million radio sets received this signal. More than 3 million radios were turned into repellents. Go Outside Repellent Radio. Turning a radio into a mosquito repellent. An idea that sounds like music to our readers.
So not sure I like seeing repellent radio on screen, but different context. Two things about this. It's breaking the boundaries of what you can do with radio and thinking of it almost in a three-dimensional way. And secondly, the technology that was used in that is being considered by the World Health Organization at the minute, and hopefully will be taken to Africa and used to stop the transmission of mosquito-transmitted diseases. So it's hopefully got a bigger purpose beyond that of a commercial magazine. The third ad I'm going to play is a snippet of an overall campaign that was extremely powerful. For one night only, LBC broadcasted a programme all about domestic violence, and there were a series of trails and ads and commercials of varying length which feature domestic abuse. It's quite shocking, so apologies in advance if it's distressing.
Women's Aid want the public to help stop domestic violence by calling the police if they hear it. We want people to get used to the idea that making a call stops the sounds of domestic abuse. The following sounds are typical. This is a woman being punched in the face. This is a woman's fingers being trapped in a door. This is a woman's jaw being broken. The sounds are distressing. We'd understand if you never want to hear them again. In fact, we'd welcome it. To stop the sounds, call 0800 5877 332. Until someone calls, the sounds will continue. This is a woman being pushed downstairs. To stop the sounds, call 0800 5877 332. Just as in real life, making a call can make it stop.
womensaid.org.uk.
Now, I think the powerful thing about this is because the ads weren't isolated, they meshed very seamlessly with the programming, and they prompted an enormous amount of response from women and men, interestingly, to phone up and talk about their experiences of domestic abuse. So an incredibly powerful campaign, and worthy of a bronze at Cannes as well. I'm conscious of time, so I think I'm going to skip the next one and go straight on to moneysupermarket.com. Now, I think if it had been 6 months ago, I would have been very surprised to have an aggregator site up as a top innovation ad. However, I think this is a great example of how advertisers on radio are starting to interact with Twitter and with Facebook.
At Gennaro_Rage wrote on Twitter, I just saved £252 on my car insurance at Money Supermarket and now I feel #epic. So much so, I put a real penguin in my packed lunch. Before the animal rights people get all uppity, I'm sure Gennaro is exaggerating. It was probably just a pigeon. Tweet how much you saved and feel #epic. You're so Money Supermarket. You don't even know.
So it's a really difficult category. It's typically very annoying, but I think it's very commendable. They're starting to have that dialogue with social media. So I do hope that campaign does well. I'd also say if you are looking for inspiration and looking to see other examples of good advertising, then with a shameless plug, please do download our Love Radio Ads app that the RAB launched last June. It's got 35,000 ads on there, and it's a great way to easily access commercials if you're scratching your head and looking for inspiration. And a quick summary here. Yes, that is a box that's open. You can see what I'm doing. Do surprise and reward your listener for what you can do through innovation. Think beyond radio and exploit your knowledge of how people are listening and how they're listening in different ways and how that is constantly changing. Third, I'd say be careful to integrate programming with advertising and the trails and make it a seamless experience as far as you can for the listener. And fourth, involve and celebrate the audience and get them to be in communication with you via social platforms. #fun. Thank you ever so much.
I thought Claire's was a great presentation, purely because some of these conferences you just don't get to hear much radio. Everyone talks and you don't hear much radio.
I can't believe that we've been here for about 2.5, 3 hours and we've talked about 12 or 13 completely distinct things. The format is great, and I'm just really pleased with it. It hammers through loads of different things. You can barely keep up. It's a bit relentless, but in a good way.